Chapter 7. Freedom. What does money truly buy? For most of us, the answer might be material possessions, houses, cars, vacations. But Morgan Housel argues that the most valuable thing money can buy isn't tangible. It's freedom. The ability to wake up every day and decide how to spend your time without being chained to obligations you resent. In Chapter 7, Freedom, Housel explores the profound connection between wealth, control, and happiness. This chapter is a call to action for rethinking the role of money in our lives. Let's dive deep into how you can leverage your finances to achieve the ultimate goal: freedom. The true definition of freedom. What does freedom mean to you? For Housel, freedom is the ability to control your time. It's waking up every day with the autonomy to decide how to spend your hours, who to spend them with, and what pursuits to follow. Reflect for a moment. How much of your time do you truly control? Are you working in a job just to pay the bills? Do you feel trapped by financial obligations or expectations from others? Freedom is the antidote to these struggles. It's about reclaiming your time and aligning it with what truly matters. Time as the ultimate currency. Let's flip the narrative. Time, not money, is our most valuable resource. No matter how wealthy you are, you can't buy more time. This is why the freedom to control your time is priceless. Yet, many people sacrifice their time chasing money, only to realize later that they've lost something irreplaceable. Ask yourself, am I trading too much of my time for money? What would I do differently if I had full control over my schedule? The illusion of wealth without freedom. Here's a hard truth. You can be rich and still lack freedom. Imagine someone with millions in the bank, but chained to a stressful job, endless meetings, or societal expectations. Is that person truly free? Housel argues that wealth without control over your time is hollow. Think about this. Would you rather earn less and have more time, or earn more but sacrifice your autonomy? Why people sacrifice freedom? If freedom is so valuable, why do so many people give it up? The answer lies in societal pressure and misaligned priorities. Many people chase status, luxury, or recognition, believing these will bring happiness. But often, this pursuit traps them in a cycle of overwork and stress, leaving little room for true freedom. Consider, are you chasing things that don't truly matter? Are you prioritizing appearances over autonomy? The role of money in gaining freedom. Money, when used wisely, is a tool for freedom. Housel emphasizes the importance of financial independence, the point where your income from investments or savings covers your expenses. This independence allows you to make choices based on what you value, not what you need to survive. Here's a practical exercise. Calculate your monthly expenses. Determine how much savings or passive income you'd need to cover those costs. Start building a plan to achieve financial independence, one step at a time. The cost of freedom. Freedom isn't free. It comes with sacrifices. To gain control over your time, you may need to live below your means, delay gratification, or make difficult career choices. But these sacrifices pale in comparison to the reward: a life where you're not controlled by debt, obligations, or other people's expectations. Ask yourself, what sacrifices am I willing to make today to gain freedom tomorrow? Freedom and happiness. Housel draws a strong connection between freedom and happiness. Studies show that people who have control over their time are consistently happier than those who don't, regardless of their income level. Why? Because autonomy allows you to spend time on what brings you joy, whether it's family, hobbies, or meaningful work. Take a moment to reflect. What activities make you happiest? How can you structure your life to spend more time on those activities? Practical steps to achieve freedom. Let's get actionable. Here's how you can start building a life of freedom. 1. Define your priorities. Identify what truly matters to you. Use this as a compass for your financial decisions. 3. Reduce obligations. Pay off debt and avoid taking on unnecessary financial burdens. 4. Learn to say no. Protect your time by setting boundaries, both personally and professionally. 5. Invest in flexibility. Choose careers, opportunities, or lifestyles that allow for adaptability and autonomy. Freedom is a lifelong journey. Achieving freedom isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process. As your circumstances change, so will your definition of freedom. The key is to remain intentional about how you spend your time and money, always aligning them with your values. Ask yourself regularly, am I living a life that reflects what matters most to me? The ultimate goal. In the end, freedom is the ultimate financial goal. It's not about how much money you have, but how much control you have over your life. Housel's message is clear. Use money as a tool to buy your time, protect your autonomy, and live a life true to your values. Here's your challenge. Spend the next week analyzing how you spend your time and money. Identify one change you can make to move closer to financial independence and greater freedom. Remember, the greatest wealth isn't found in your bank account. It's found in your ability to live life on your terms. What will you do with your freedom? Chapter 8. The Paradox of the Man in the Car. Imagine this. You're driving down the road and a luxury car zips past you, a sleek Lamborghini or a polished Rolls-Royce. What's your first thought? Perhaps you think, wow, that person must be successful. Or maybe, I wish I had a car like that. But here's the paradox that Morgan Housel introduces in Chapter 8. The paradox of the man in the car. While we admire the car, we rarely think about the person driving it. This chapter challenges the way we perceive success, status, and the things we chase in life. It's a mirror reflecting our desires, insecurities, and what we believe about money's power to make us happy. So, let's unpack this paradox and explore how it can reshape your understanding of wealth, influence, and the pursuit of meaning. What we really admire. When you see someone in a luxury car, what are you really admiring? Housel argues that it's not the person driving the car we admire. It's the idea of ourselves in that car. We imagine how others would perceive us if we owned something so impressive. This raises a critical question. Are we chasing status for our own happiness, or to influence how others see us? Here's the twist. The admiration we crave is rarely directed at us. It's directed at the object we own. And yet, we invest so much time and money chasing this fleeting validation. The power of quiet confidence. Think about the people you genuinely admire. Are they the ones flaunting their wealth? Or are they the ones who exude quiet confidence, humility, and authenticity? Housel points out that true respect comes not from what you own, but from how you treat others and live your values. Reflect. Are you seeking respect through possessions or through character? Consider. How would your priorities change if you focused on earning respect rather than admiration? The cost of chasing admiration. Here's the danger. Chasing admiration often leads to financial decisions that are more about appearances than sustainability. Buying a car you can't afford, living in a house beyond your means, or pursuing a lifestyle for the sake of validation. These choices might impress others, but they can trap you in a cycle of stress, debt, and insecurity. Ask yourself, am I spending money to align with my values or to impress others? What would my financial decisions look like if I stopped caring about external validation? The paradox of wealth and status. Housel reveals a deeper paradox. Wealth and status are often at odds. The more you spend to display your wealth, the less actual wealth you have. Yet, society glorifies visible wealth, making it tempting to prioritize appearances over financial stability. Here's a mindset shift. True wealth is invisible. It's the money you save, invest, and use to create freedom, not the money you spend to impress others. Building real influence. If admiration and respect are what you seek, there's a better path. Building real influence through meaningful actions. Be generous with your time, knowledge, and resources. Pursue excellence in your work or passions. Show kindness, humility, and authenticity in your interactions. These qualities leave a lasting impression, far more than a flashy car ever could. Redefining success. Let's redefine what success means. Instead of measuring success by what you own, measure it by the quality of your relationships, the amount of time you control, the impact you have on others. Success isn't about standing out. It's about finding fulfillment in what truly matters to you. Think about this. What would your life look like if you stopped chasing admiration and started chasing meaning? The freedom to be unnoticed. One of the most liberating ideas in this chapter is the freedom to be unnoticed. Housel suggests that when you stop caring about what others think, you gain the freedom to make decisions based on your own values, not societal expectations. Ask yourself, what would I do differently if I didn't care about impressing anyone? How can I focus more on what brings me joy and fulfillment? Practical steps to escape the paradox. Let's translate these ideas into actionable steps. 1. Shift your mindset. Recognize that admiration is often directed at objects, not people. Stop tying your self-worth to what you own. 2. Clarify your values. Write down what truly matters to you: family, health, freedom, purpose, and let these guide your financial decisions. 3. Live below your means. Save and invest more than you spend. Prioritize financial independence over outward displays of wealth. 4. Seek respect, not admiration. Focus on building character, fostering relationships, and creating value for others. 5. Practice gratitude. Appreciate what you already have instead of constantly striving for more. The legacy you leave. At the end of your life, people won't remember the car you drove or the clothes you wore. They'll remember how you made them feel, the impact you had, and the values you stood for. Housel's message is clear. Stop chasing admiration through material possessions. Instead, build a legacy of respect, kindness, and authenticity. The paradox of the man in the car is a wake-up call for all of us. It forces us to confront our desires, redefine our priorities, and focus on what truly matters. Here's your challenge. For the next week, observe your financial decisions. Ask yourself, am I making this choice for my own fulfillment or to impress others? Remember, the ultimate wealth isn't in what you own. It's in the freedom to live authentically and the respect you earn by being true to yourself. Let's break free from the paradox and start living a life that reflects who we truly are. The journey starts now. Chapter 9. Wealth is what you don't see. Picture this. You're at a party, and someone walks in wearing an expensive suit, flashing a luxury watch, and casually mentioning their extravagant vacation. You can see the signs of wealth, but do you really see wealth? Morgan Housel's Chapter 9. Wealth is what you don't see challenges one of the most common misconceptions about money. True wealth isn't about what's visible. It's about what's hidden. It's the money not spent, the savings, the investments, the freedom it creates. This chapter is more than a revelation. It's a shift in perspective that will challenge you to rethink your financial goals and behaviors. Let's dive in and uncover the invisible power of wealth. The illusion of visible wealth. Our society glorifies visible wealth. Cars, homes, designer clothes, these are the symbols of success. But here's the paradox. What you see is what's spent, not what's saved. Housel asks a critical question. What if the most impressive forms of wealth are the ones we never notice? Imagine someone with a modest lifestyle, but a significant investment portfolio. They might not look wealthy, but they have something far more valuable: financial freedom. Think about your own life. Are you focusing on building visible status or invisible security? Why saving is invisible wealth? Saving is the cornerstone of wealth, but it's also the most underappreciated financial skill. Why? Because savings aren't flashy. They don't get you compliments at parties or likes on social media. Housel emphasizes that saving isn't just about discipline. It's about recognizing the power of what you don't spend. Reflect. How much of your income do you save, and what does that say about your financial priorities? Challenge yourself. What can you do to make saving a more intentional part of your life? The power of opportunity cost. Every dollar spent on visible wealth is a dollar that can't be invested in invisible wealth. This is the concept of opportunity cost, a trade-off that defines your financial future. For example, a $50,000 car might look impressive today, but what if you invested that money instead? Over decades with compounding interest, it could grow into something far greater. Ask yourself, what opportunities am I sacrificing for the sake of appearances? The role of humility in building wealth. True wealth requires humility, the willingness to live below your means, even when you could afford more. Housel argues that the most financially secure people often appear average or even modest. They don't spend to impress, they save to secure. This is a profound mindset shift. Your financial worth isn't determined by what others see, but by what you know you have. Compounding and the hidden power of wealth. Compounding is one of the most powerful forces in finance, but it requires patience and invisibility. The longer your wealth remains untouched, the more it can grow. Think of it like planting a tree. The growth happens underground, invisible to the eye, but over time, it creates something magnificent. Here's a thought experiment. If you could choose between impressing people today or building generational wealth tomorrow, which would you prioritize? Redefining success. Through invisible wealth. Success isn't about looking rich. It's about having options, freedom, and security. It's the ability to say no to a toxic job because you have savings. It's the peace of mind knowing you can handle emergencies. It's the freedom to pursue your passions without financial constraints. What's more valuable than that? Escaping the visibility trap. Many people fall into the trap of equating visible spending with happiness. But studies show that experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not material possessions, bring lasting fulfillment. Ask yourself, am I spending money on things that truly make me happy, or just on things that look good? How can I redirect my financial energy toward invisible wealth that enhances my life? Practical steps to build invisible wealth. Let's turn this insight into action. 1. Audit your spending. Identify areas where you're spending for appearances and redirect that money into savings or investments. 2. Set a savings goal. Aim to save a specific percentage of your income each month. Treat saving as a non-negotiable expense. 3. Invest in the long term. Focus on building an investment portfolio that grows quietly over time. 4. Practice gratitude. Recognize the value of what you already have. Gratitude reduces the urge to spend on unnecessary things. Live below your means. Prioritize financial freedom over fleeting validation. The legacy of invisible wealth. Invisible wealth isn't just about you. It's about the legacy you leave. It's the financial stability you pass on to your children, the opportunities you create for others, and the freedom to live life on your terms. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Chapter 9 is a challenge to rethink how you view money, success, and happiness. It asks you to focus less on what others see and more on what you build behind the scenes. For the next week, reflect on this question. How can I shift my financial decisions from visible spending to invisible wealth building? Remember, true wealth is about freedom, security, and impact, not appearances. The journey to invisible wealth starts with a single decision. Make that decision today.